Hi, my name is Debbie Purcell. I am a professional mixed martial arts fighter, fighting and training out of California. Welcome to Introduction to Mixed Martial Arts, tape number 1. This tape is going to be basic mixed martial arts. It's for people who it's their first introduction to mixed martial arts. And what I'm going to show you is basic stand-up moves that you'll need to know, basic clinching drills that you'll need to know, and some basic ground moves. And they're very, very important, so I hope you enjoy the tape. This is Trevor. He's going to help me out with this. The first thing that I'm going to teach you is a proper mixed martial arts stance. There's many different stances that you're going to see in fighting. You'll see some boxers, they'll stand more sideways. It gives them more reach. You'll see some Muay Thai fighters stand out here with a more square stance, hands up, getting ready to kick because that's all they're doing is kicking. You'll see some wrestlers stand a little bit more square because their foot movement and their footwork is here. For mixed martial arts, what you want to do is you want to put your feet shoulder length apart. Pretend there's a straight line in front of both feet. You want to take about a foot step forward so your feet are about angled apart at a 45-degree angle. You might want to adjust your feet just a little bit so you're comfortable. You want to bend your knees, and your base should be center. You don't want to be too far forward. You don't want to be too far back or the side. You should have a very, very, very strong base. This will help you out because if you have a good base and you have a good stance for mixed martial arts, you'll be able to think about everything. You'll be able to think about strikes, knees, kicks, sprawls, takedowns, everything that we need to do. So get in your stance, be strong with your legs, be strong with your midsection. You want to put your hands up. You want to have your right hand, if you're fighting left lead, you want to have your right hand making a fist towards your face right here. Your left hand right in front of your face, not too far forward, right here, so you can defend and you can block. You want to relax your shoulders. You don't want to be too tight, so your shoulders should be relaxed. Move forward just a tad. Relax and be strong with your leg. The next thing we're going to go over is how to make a proper fist. If you open up your hand and you curl your fingers in and you take your thumb and you put it over the second set of knuckles. You don't want to put it over the first set of knuckles and keep your thumb out here. You want to take it over your second set of knuckles. And then you want to make your fist strong. You don't want to have a weak wrist. Every time you make a fist and you throw a punch, you want it to be really strong. So your fist is going to come back to, your right hand is going to come back to the right side of your face, blocking your face. Your left hand is going to come right in front of the left side of your face. You're going to have your shoulders relaxed. And you're going to be ready, and you're going to be strong here with your legs. Bend your legs a little bit. Now we're going to work a little bit of movement. So you have your fist, you have your stance. You're going to go back and forth. Because obviously when you're fighting, you're not just going to be standing there, okay? So you're going to move around a little bit back and forth. Get used to changing the weight on your toes, to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. But when you punch, everything's going to be strong. You're not going to be punching with your weight forward or your weight back. You want to avoid punching and coming forward. So just get in your MMA stance and practice. Kind of move around a little bit and work on your footwork. Try to look in the mirror, get a proper MMA stance, and just relax. That's it for MMA stance. Now that we have the proper MMA stance down, I'm going to teach you the first basic punch that you need to learn. So get in your stance, get in your fighting stance, hands up. It's going to be the jab. The jab is going to extend out with your fist and your shoulder at the same time. You don't want to throw your fist out and then your shoulder, and you don't want to lead with your shoulder and then throw your fist. They all work simultaneously at the same time. So bring it out at the same time. Start there. Then the next time you try it, I want you to take your hips and move with the punch. Everything needs to work at the same time. You're going to turn your hand over, don't punch like this. You're going to bring it straight out, turn your hips, turn your shoulder and your hand at the same time, punch, and bring it right back to your face. Every time you throw a punch, you need to bring it right back to your face. A really good way to practice, which kind of stinks, but it works, is hitting yourself. I do it sometimes. I'll be sparring and I'll be training and I'll just throw a punch and I'll bring it back and I hit myself in the face. And it hurts, but I remember I need to bring my hand back, because if you throw a punch out there, especially a jab, you just leave it, well, they're going to counter and I'm going to get hit. So once again, you want to be in your MMA stance. You want to have very good proper base, about in the middle. Hand's going to come up. The jab's going to go out and it's going to come back. Go out and come back. Now the cross is pretty much the same thing, except it's coming from your back hand. And when you throw the cross, what's going to be different is you're going to actually come up on the ball of your foot when you throw the cross, but you don't want to drag your foot forward. So when you throw the cross, it comes from your shoulder right here. You don't want to cock back. You want to stay in your base. You want to extend the punch out, extending your body, looking over your shoulder. Your shoulder should be right above your chin, so I'm protecting my chin while I'm throwing the punch. Some people do not teach how to punch this way. They show to keep your shoulder down. Neither way is correct or neither way is wrong. It's how you prefer to do it. Me personally, I like to protect myself when I'm throwing my punches with my shoulder. So you throw it out and you turn your hips and then you come back. Out, turning your hand, come back. You want to hit with your first two set of knuckles. You don't want to hit with your second two set of knuckles. So your jab cross will look like this. Jab, cross, just right in the air. Jab, cross. And like I said before, make sure on your cross you don't travel. And it needs to come right back to your face, like I told you before. Every punch needs to come back to your face. Hit yourself every time you do it. And you want to bend this back leg a little bit too, and your front leg when you're throwing your cross. Now I'm going to show you how to do it on the bag. It's pretty much the same thing on the bag as it in the air, except once you start learning how to work on the bag, whether it's on the heavy bag or it's with pad drills, it feels different. Because when you start punching on a bag, there's resistance there. And people have a tendency to want to punch hard. That's every beginner's thing, is they want to hit hard. They want to cock their arm back and punch the bag, and then they just want to hit. And really encourage you to try to use a technique, because if you do it right, you're going to hit a lot harder. Speed and accuracy is what causes the punch to be hard, not strength and using your whole body. So, well, you use your whole body, but you need to use it in the right way. So with the jab, you're going to hit the bag and you're going to come back. Now, when you hit the bag, I want you to envision old school martial arts. Think that you're pulling off a cookie and bringing it right back. Because if you punch into the bag hard and all your power goes into the bag, I'm losing power, okay? And I don't want to not put my body into it because I've lost power again. So it all has to work at the same time, and jab. And you need to breathe out when you throw your punch, because it'll help you breathe, first of all. And second of all, when I'm throwing is when I'm susceptible to being hit. And if I'm breathing out, it helps me tighten my body up so it doesn't hurt me as bad when I'm getting hit. So here's the jab. You can move around the bag with the jab. Start moving, just play with it, play with your footwork, stay in your MMA stance. Keep your foot pointed towards the bag. You don't want it pointed back here. And just move around. Every time you throw it, bring it back to your face. There's times when you use the jab when you'll do a double jab, and you might not bring it all the way back to your face every single time. But we're not really working on that right now, so just focus on the jab, throw it, and bring it right back to your face. When you're punching, you're not obviously going to open up your hand every time you punch and close it. I'm just trying to show you that it's a technique that you can practice to make your punches a little bit more sharper and accurate so you can get the power behind it. Because I don't want you to start punching into the bag and putting all my weight now is on my front foot and it's all forward, and then they're loppy, sloppy punches. So if you can think about getting it out there fast and bringing it back fast, that's where your speed and accuracy is going to come from. And the same thing with the cross. You're going to throw the cross, put your body into it, except I come back up on my right foot here. And your cross, you'll sometimes throw low. If you want to throw lower, you're going to bend your knees. All you have to do is just take your body down and throw lower. You want to throw to the face, you throw to the face. And once again, my hand or my shoulder is not leading. I'm having everything work at the same time. If you lead with your cross, with your shoulder, it's going to look like this. My punch is late. If I lead with my hand, it's going to look like this. So it's really, really important to get those two things working together, that and having your whole body move and then bringing it back fast. So here's the cross, cross. Now the jab cross is the same thing, but when you start throwing combinations, especially the jab cross, people have a tendency to concentrate on the cross instead of the jab. So their jab becomes sloppy and then their cross becomes really hard. And you want to think at one punch at a time. It's hard to do, but start trying to work on that when you're doing your bag work. So you'll throw jab cross and it comes right back to your face each time. And then work around your bag. You can sit here for hours just working on stance, working on your jab, working on your cross. Sometimes you'll throw the jab, sometimes you'll throw the jab, sometimes you'll throw the cross, sometimes you'll throw them both together. Okay, now we're going to work on doing it with the person, that you're drilling it with a person. Trevor's going to put on his gloves. Make sure you wear gloves when you try this technique at home. And you want to relax. He's a beginner too. I'm a beginner. We're just starting out. We're learning how to punch. So when you throw your jab and you're in front of a person, he is going to catch. It's not like catching mitts. If I'm hitting mitts, I'm going to be throwing across my body. I'm going to be throwing to this, because the person that's feeding, you can't throw to the same because they get hit in the face. So with feeding mitts, you might notice, if you've ever seen it done before, you're throwing across the body. When you're practicing drills, boxing drills, kickboxing drills, whatever, the hand motion is, I am going to punch to this side of it. I'm just going to punch to his face and he's going to have to learn how to block it, which is in the other tape. So I'm going to jab to his face and bring it back to my hand. I'm going to cross to his face and bring it back to my face. And you want to stand in front of the person, and I'll do jab cross, then you do jab cross. Really slow. Jab cross, now you do jab cross. Jab cross, you do jab cross. Jab cross. And just go back and forth and start learning how to work in front of a person. Across to the body, we'll come in here. Across to the face, it's going to go here. Jab, cross. So when you're working with a person, just get used to working with a person. Get in your stance. Think about protecting your face, which we just went over. Think about how you're punching. Think about distancing, because it's different when you're in front of a person than hitting the bag or just doing it in the air, because all of a sudden I have this person. He's going to be moving a little bit, and I kind of have to move forward and jab because I have to hit him. So it's nice to start drilling with people just basic movements like this. Just the jab, okay? I'm just going to jab him. He's going to move a little bit, and I'm just going to work on my jab. I'm going to work on my cross. He's going to move out of the way a little bit. So he's moving, so it's not as easy as just standing there freestanding. And same thing when I'm practicing with him and he's hitting me, then I'll be moving for my partner a little bit to give him a chance to learn how to work on it. So practice these drills at home. These are really good jab cross drills, and that's it for jab cross. The next thing we're going to go over is called a low leg Muay Thai kick. And you see this a lot in mixed martial arts, and it's a basic kick that I'm going to teach you before I teach you how to do the high kick, because it's easy to do. It's low, you kick the opponent's leg, and it's one of the most used kicks in mixed martial arts today. So how you're going to learn is your hands are going to be up in your fighter stance. You're going to step off to the side. I'm going to turn my heel at a 45-degree angle. If I can get it all the way to the bag, great. Most people can't. So you just want to turn your heel as much as your leg will allow. I'm going to kick with my shin. I'm not going to kick with my foot. I'm going to relax my hips. I'm going to kick, and then I'm going to come back. I want to pretend that I'm kicking a leg, so it's low. Here would be a low kick, here would be a mid kick, and then a high kick would be up here. So we're just going to focus on the low kick right now. And what I want you to remember is to protect your face. Your right hand is going to come back when you throw the kick. You don't want to keep your hand here in front of you, because I lose momentum. And if I lose momentum, I lose power. So my right hand is going to actually come back behind me, and my left hand is going to be protecting my face. Now there's two schools of thought on the Muay Thai leg kick. I've been told that if you flex your foot, your shin bone pops out, and when you kick the person, it hurts them a lot worse than it actually, and it does. It really works. You can kick a person like that light and you'll see them go down. Well, there's another school of thought that if you relax your leg when you're throwing this kick, it's going to make it much faster. Okay, and if it's faster, it's going to be harder, it's going to be stronger. I say try both ways. When you're flexing your foot, it does slow down the kick, but it is harder. But it's almost like I'm bouncing off the bag, whereas if I'm throwing the kick and I'm loose with the kick, it's a lot quicker, okay? So once again, you're going to step off to the side. You're going to throw your hips. I want to use my hips, but I don't want to throw my hips out first. Actually, my foot and my hip is working together just like with the jab cross. It's the same thing with the kick, except a lot of times you'll see a lot of people, you want to use their hips so much that they throw their hip out first and it looks awkward. The other thing you want to try to do is, I know this sounds a little odd, but you want to stick your butt out. It's almost like I'm sticking my butt out like this, because that way I can bend over enough and I can get my hip out enough. So just relax. A good way to practice this before you even start throwing the kick hard is just start kicking the bag to relax this leg. Relax the leg. The more you relax, the faster the kick's going to be. Then when you want to start throwing a little bit harder, just start throwing it. So that's how it's going to look on the bag. From the other side, from here, just so you can see this in my hand placement, I'm protecting my face. This hand's coming back, and I'm turning my foot. I turn my foot out, but I'm still spinning all the way. So now my heel is actually facing the back. Hands up, step out, step out. Now how it's going to look on a person, and the reason I showed you to step out is I have Trevor here, we're fighting. Let's back up a little bit more. I'm actually going to step between his legs at an angle. I don't want to kick from here because I lose power. I'm going to have more power if I kick at an angle and I kick his leg. Now it's hard to see, but I'm going to show you. Where you want to kick on the leg is you want to kick from above the knee to about right here on the thigh. There's no magic area. You don't have to kick here, here, here. There's no perfect area, but this is like the bony section on the thigh where you want to kick, and that's what's going to hurt the most. So and there's another school of thought too. A lot of people will tell you to come down and chop the leg down like a tree. My theory is, and the way I was taught, is your kick is going to go where your knee goes. You want the kick to come up and across. And that's what's going to hurt the opponent the worst. It's going to chop the leg. If it comes up and straight across, that's where the most damage is going to be done. So step out to the side, bring it out, and bring it straight across. And I don't have shin pads on, so it's probably hurting Trevor, and I don't want to throw the kick hard. Sorry. Get your hands up, relax, step off to the side, protect your face. This hand comes back, bring your knee up. Wherever your knee goes, your kick is gonna go. A knee, a low kick, a high kick, a mid kick is all the same. It's going to go where your knee goes. If somebody's coming at me and I'm going to throw a kick and they come in distance-wise, I'll just throw a knee. It's the same exact movement. There's no difference. It's not like a knee has different hip movement or a high kick has different. It's all the same. And what's great about that is the opponent doesn't know what's coming most of the time. So the low kick is nice because it's just right here. How your opponent has his weight on his right leg. As soon as you see his weight on his right leg because he's coming at you or whatever, you see that and you just drop it and it should come up and straight across. And that's pretty much it for the Muay Thai leg kick. I really encourage you to practice this on an opponent with shin pads. I don't have them on right now because we're not really going to show the drill, the kicking drills right now. We'll show that in the next tape. But that's what it looks like. So that's the Muay Thai leg kick. The next thing that we're going to go over, now that I've showed you some basic hand movements and some basic kicks, or kick I should say, I'm going to show you basic clinches that you're going to see in mixed martial arts. We're not going to go over all of the counters and a lot of the positions because we're limited on time and this is just one tape that I'm making right now. But this is what the most positions that you're going to see right now in mixed martial arts. And the first one you're going to see is you're going to see the Muay Thai clinch. Now, when I clinch him, I do not want to grab his head like this. I want to have one hand over and one hand under. And I don't want to grab too low on the neck because he's going to be looking up and I want to get his head down. So my hands are going to go on the crown, on the back of his head right about here. For Trevor it's different because he's a little bit taller, so it's hard, and I want to keep my elbows together as much as I can, and I want to bring his head down. Okay, and I don't want to be too high because if I do, he's just going to come out the back. If I'm too low, not a good position. It's like everything else, the middle is better. I want to be here, I want to stay strong. I don't want to be in too close and too tight up here. Don't want to be too far back. Now once I have him in my clinch, a basic footwork drill that you're going to practice is here. I want to control him here. This is why I have him in the clinch. I have him because this is a good controlling position for me. I can throw knees here, I can come back, I can strike, I can do elbow. I want to control my opponent. So I have him in this clinch, and a basic footwork that you're going to do is you're going to come back with your right leg and you're going to drag him across. Okay, now he's open for strikes. So this is hard on the guy that you're practicing with or girl that you're practicing with, but oh well, too bad. You want to get him in a tight clinch. You want to squeeze these elbows together. And I want to move him around the ring. Just move him around side to side. Put this foot back and move him around. Sorry, you all right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's tired, so we're going to stop on that. You get the idea. Muay Thai clinch is the first thing that you'll see. The second one that you're going to see a lot of is double unders. He wants to get double underhooks on me, okay? This is the superior position for him. I want to be here because this is the superior position for me. So what we're going to do is teach you a basic pummeling drill on how to get the inside underhooks. And it's like swimming. And how I'm gonna teach you this is we're gonna go shoulder to shoulder. You wanna keep your head up. You don't wanna be looking down. When I'm doing this, he's looking for me to put my head down because he wants to control my head like I just showed you. If he puts his head down and we're pummeling for position, I'm gonna take his head. So you wanna keep your head up when you're practicing this drill. You're gonna go underneath his armpit, shoulder to shoulder, and pummel, back and forth. Slow, it's going to look like this. My hand is going to come underneath his armpit, and we're going shoulder to shoulder. And I'm feeling here. I could close my eyes and I can do this drill because it's all feeling. I'm not really looking about what he's doing. It's more of a feeling drill. You can go slow, and then you can go a little bit harder. And then you can go faster if you want to get a workout. And then what I want to do is I want to get the double underhooks, because if I get the double underhooks, I get the takedown. The other thing I want you to remember when you're doing this drill is footwork. Sometimes you're going to have one foot forward, sometimes you're going to be standing like this, because in mixed martial arts fighting, there is really no absolute position where your feet have to be, because you're just doing so many things, so there's no really way to define it. It's not like we're wrestling and I can say, okay, keep your feet here, we're going to be off to an angle here, because you have to think about everything else, not just wrestling. So we're going to move shoulder to shoulder, and the biggest thing I want to stress to you is to keep base. I want to keep my hips low, I want to keep my base center, I don't want to be leaning on him. Okay, and I don't really want to be pulling on my, I want to just keep my base. That's why I love this drill so much. Back and forth. Okay, next thing we're going to go over is, now that I have this underhook here, I want to try to get this other underhook here. So I have the double unders, and I can actually take him down. You'll see a lot of people tie up like this, with one hand on the head and one hand here. The reason why, if I have the inside tie up, I want to be inside. From here, I have multiple takedowns. From here, I can go down and I can take this. I can take his back. I'm the one that's controlling the fight. If he has inside tie up on me here, then he's the one controlling. So I want to try to get inside. And then if I do get inside with both, I'm going to teach you a basic, easy takedown. It's called a bear hug takedown. And you'll see why in a second, because that's all it really is. If I get my hands inside, first let me face the camera and show you. Here, I'm going to grab my own hands, grab my wrist. Then I want to base out, stick my butt out like this, and I want to get my base underneath me. More important than anything else, I want to have my head on his chest. If my head's too high, this is not going to work. I don't want it to be like this, facing, because then all of a sudden I'm susceptible to getting knees. So I want to be here. I want to be pressing my head with my ear against his body. With my hands, I'm going to go down. I'm going to find his waistline right here. This is where he bends. This is how this move works. I'm bending him. If I can't bend him, it doesn't work. I want to stick my butt out. I want to be strong. I want to bend him, and I take him back. So I'm going to show towards the camera this way. I have the inside tie up here, bend down, take him back. From a different angle, once I get my double unders, I want to base down. See my head? I can actually do this without it. If I just use my head, I can almost take him down. Getting that head and using my arms at the same time is so important. I mean, of course, you want to do the whole thing at the same time, thrusting your hips up and your head and your arms, but I'm just stressing you the head is really, really important on this. The deeper I get, the better. I don't want to be too deep down here. I want to be in the middle of his chest, base out, take down. If he won't go down, there's a couple different versions of this takedown. I'm not going to get into it, but I'll kind of show you. You can do it, and you can actually do the inside leg trip, and there's many different versions of this takedown. But this is just a basic one to practice, and if you practice on another person, practice getting the motion of extending your hips and bringing them back. That's the motion. Sorry. That's the motion that you want to get for this takedown. Like I said, there's many different tie-ups, and there's many different clinch movements. These are just some basic ones for you to try and practice. Okay, now that I've got my opponent on the ground, we're going to go to the ground. I'm going to show you some basic ground positions. The first one that you're going to see a lot is called the guard. Now I'm going to put Trevor in my guard so I can show you the different guards, even though I'm the one that took him down. Let's move this around a little bit. The first guard position that you're going to see is a closed guard position. It's called closed guard because my legs are closed. Imagine that. Okay. If I'm in a closed guard and I'm fighting, the last thing that I want to do is have him here. From this position, he's at the advantage. He's going to strike me. I need to put myself in a defensive position, either low, holding on to him down here, or pushing him back up here. So he's bigger than me and he has some reach. He actually might be able to reach me from here. So if it's someone bigger, that bigger than me, I'm actually gonna get up or I'm gonna move. I'm not gonna let him do that to me. But most people that are my size, pushing out here, he can't strike me from here. So I wanna bring him close to me here, And while we're here, let's turn around and go the other way. So I can show from this side. What I want to do, if I can get this arm down here, this is a really good position in the guard. I mean, the guard is not a bad position to be in as long as you're being defensive, because here's where most of my submissions come from. And if I'm here and I have him down, I want to bring him down on top of me. He wants to base out and not be down because I can't do anything to him from up there. Where my submissions are going to come from is down here. From here, I have all kinds of submissions. I'll work. I'll come across, I'll start doing, there's arm bars, there's chokes, there's single places, everything from this position. But I'm controlling him here. I'm really, really happy here. And you know what else I can do here? I can rest here if I'm really tired in the fight. So you want to keep your legs strong. You don't want to squeeze your opponent with your legs and tire yourself out. You just want to keep your legs strong here, and you want to try to keep him on top of you. And if he's not on top of you from this position, you want to keep him away from you. So that's closed guard. The next position I'm going to show you is open guard, or butterfly guard, I'll show you. And my hooks are in, but this one's a little bit different because I don't want to have him down on me in this position because he's trying to pass, and this is what he wants to do to me to pass my guard. Okay, so from this position, what I want to do is I want to try to get up, because from here, the more I get up on my butt, the better off I am. This is where all my sweeps are going to come from. I've got submissions from here, I've got sweeps, I've got everything. I want to be on my side. I don't want to be flat here, come off to an angle on this side or this hip and start working. And the other thing is you want to keep your hook strong. If you're going to go for sweeps from this position and you're going to be in butterfly guard, the reason this works is I have my hooks in here and I can control him. And when I'm trying to do it, I need to learn how to flex my feet and always keep my hooks on him. Because he's going to be trying to get my hooks off. He's going to be trying to pass and get up, and I want to follow along with my hooks, and I want to work. I don't want to be flat here. I want to be here, and I want to be moving, and I want to be pushing him all over the place. I'm controlling. It doesn't look like it, and when you learn, you'll understand more, but this is where all my sweeps come from. Okay, that's why. I see my hook's still in. I didn't let go. I didn't just throw him over and let go. I maintain control by keeping that hook in. So from here, if I do sweep him, I'm not going to really show you the proper technique of the sweep. But if I do sweep him, I want to show you that my hook is still in. And it's following him all the way across. I don't just throw him fast like this and let go of my hook. I'm not going to throw him and just like let go, even though I just threw him. I want to keep these strong. My hooks are everything. If I can work on my hips from this position and I can keep my hooks in, it's a very good position to be in. So if I do sweep him, I'm off to my side. Now I'm maintaining control of the fight again. Now, let's switch and have you, I'll be in your guard. When you're in someone's guard, like I said, the last thing that you want to do is be here. A drill I'm going to give you to practice is I want you to close your eyes. Maybe open your eyes the first time you do it. Close your eyes the second time you do it. And he wants to come up on me. What I want to do is I want to keep him down here. Whatever I'm doing, I'm safe here. I base out. I can look up at the sky. I'm relaxed. I'm low on my hips. I'm not too far forward. I'm not giving him my arms so I can get arm barred and attacked. You see a lot of people try to escape this position with their elbows. It does work, but it's really, really tiring to sit here and just try to dig your elbows into somebody's leg to break them off, because this is a really hard position to break open. And he's going to get tired. He's going to be coming up on me trying to do something to me. You know what I'm going to start do? Go ahead. I'm just going to start pushing him down. You just start practicing pushing the guy down, push him down. If he comes up high, take his face and push his face down. And it's just a feeling thing. You can sit here all day and he's going to start getting tired. Once he gets tired is when I want to open his guard and I want to pass. And there's many different guard passes that we'll go over on a different tape. But for now, I just want you to drill this. He comes up, I push him down. He comes up, I push him down. I can get swept from here, okay? And that's another thing he's going to try. He's trying to come up because if I give up my base, he can take me down and sweep me. But if I have strong base here and my base is where it should be and my hips are low and I'm paying attention to that, I'm going to control the fight from here. And I can strike from here and I can do a lot of different things from here. I can pass and everything else. So it's just a drill. And don't be afraid to shove his face off. Actually shove his face off. It's a good thing. Now, the other thing you want to be careful from here is the arms. In this position, don't bring your arm down to shove him in the face, because then again, look, I'm open for attacks, okay? So you want to be here. You're safe here. As long as your arms aren't here, that's an unsafe position. If your arms are low in his body, I'm fine. He can't do anything to me from here. He can't sweep me because I have a strong base. He can't attack me. He can't do much. Now, if his hooks are in, what I want to do is I want to jam his hooks, okay? I do not want to be in this position and have him up. So I want to bring him down, and I want to jam his hooks down. I want to have my base really, really low. My hips need to be really, really low. I want to get my elbows in. I want to stop his hips from moving. If I can stop his hips from moving, I'm going to be able to pass, and I'm going to be able to do what I want to do. Hip movement is everything, and protecting the other person's hips from moving is everything. So I keep my elbows in, I keep my head tight down, and I've got base from here. And he tries to get up and tries to sweep me, I'm just jamming his hooks. There's nothing he can do, okay? So you practice this position a lot. It's base. It's not strength. You can sit here and squeeze your opponent to death. A lot of people think on the ground in these positions that I'm going to show you, and especially when we go into side control, that it's strength. It's not strength. It's base. And base you have to practice to be able to get. You can't sit there with my person and I can squeeze on him and I'm just going to get tired and he's just going to get me up. I need to get my center and my base down, and I need to know proper placement. So get your elbows in, be paying attention to what's going on, and base. All right, the next thing we're going to go over from this position is some basic easy strikes. These are old school strikes. You'll see them sometimes in the UFC. They do work, they do protect you, but they're not the most effective strikes in my opinion. What you're going to do is you're going to control the arms here. You're going to keep your head low. This is why I don't like this, because I just told you I don't want to be low in this position because he's holding on to my head and going for submissions. But it's still done, so I'm going to go over it really fast. You'll do the old 1-2 punch, punch to the face. What I'm going to show you how to do is wait for an opportunity to strike. If I can strike and I come up and I grab his head, he goes for an arm bar, for instance. Say he goes for an arm bar. Okay, what I want to do is I want to bring him to my body. I want to bring my leg up, and now I can strike. And you know what? He can't do anything for me here. As I am in such a great position here, I can strike here, I can strike here, I can elbow here, and I can do it with power. They're not little teeny rabbit punches that just tire me out and don't do anything. I want to throw my strikes with power, and in mixed martial arts, when you're doing a 5-minute round and you have 3 5-minute rounds, you get tired. So you want to conserve your energy and use it as effectively as you possibly can. So you can strike here. If I want to bring my leg up here, I can strike here, but I want to squash him. I want to get my hips forward, and I want to smash him. It's called smashing him. I can pass guard. I can smash him. I can do lots of different things. But what I'm trying to teach you with this whole thing here is just to keep your hips into the person. Let's switch around. About right here. Say he goes for an arm bar. Okay, well, he's already bending his body towards me. If he doesn't go for the arm bar, I can physically make him bend his body towards me and shoot my hips in, but it's a good opportunity when he's already trying to move, because this is what he wants to do. He wants to move his hips back and forth. So waiting for the right opportunity for him to do that, such as an arm bar, the minute he makes himself kind of come to a V, he's made it easy for me, okay? I'm going to bring my hip up. I'm going to base out my hips, and I have very strong strikes from here. There's not a lot he's going to be able to do. If I want to bring my leg up, I can bring my leg up, and I'm smashing him, and I can strike, I can strike, I can pass. If I'm here, I can strike, I can strike. It's a bad position for him to be in. All right, now we're going to go into some half guard. I just want to show you the position. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but I want to show you what it is. So I'm going to let Trevor be on top. It's either called half guard or half mount, depending on where you are. If you're on the bottom, it's half guard, and if you're on the top, it's half mount. What it looks like is this. He'll be on top. He's not mounted on top of me, but this is just called half guard, okay? And what I want to do from this position is I want to keep my elbows in tight, and I want to be thinking that I need to elbow escape and hip escape. You want to be able to snake out from this position. Some people love working from this position because what he's going to try to do from here is go to side control on me, or he's going to try to get full mount. I can lock my legs and try to defend. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can use this hook, and you can use your hooks and start using your hook in. But right now I'm just going to show you the basic positions where you're going to be. Here, here, even here, which is a good position for me. My elbows are in. Now we're going to switch around to the other side so I can show you what my legs are doing. From this position, if I'm here, I want to hold him down, but I'm not going to because I have a microphone on, and you guys aren't going to be able to hear me if I do that. Okay, so I'm going to hold his head, and I want to take my legs, and I either want to triangle my legs. I don't want to let this foot out because, like I said, he's going to try to mount me or go for side control. I can also work with my hook in and try to go for some sweeps here. I don't want to be here. He might be side here. If he is, I want to keep my elbows in. I want to watch for my arms, okay? I want to try to get off my back because this position or this position is much better for me. So this is half guard. I'm not going to go into it right now with detail. I just want to show you what it is so you'll see the different positions that we're going to do in mixed martial arts. And then we're going to move on to side control. All right, the next thing we're going to go over is basic side control positions. Here, what you want to do is base, base, base. Everything is base. Like I told you from the guard, and I can't stress this enough, you see a lot of people when they're first learning side control, even here, even though it's proper position, to just squeeze onto the person with their whole life, and then I'm tired, and then he escapes. So you don't have to be strong and squeeze. You need to have your body on top of the person. You don't want to be too far forward. Sometimes you'll go forward and you'll keep your head on the mat. For now, I want you to think about just being center. You don't want to be too far back because he can escape. He wants to create space and he wants to escape. So what I want to do from this position is I want to keep my knees tight to his body. My right knee's here, my left knee's here. My hips are low, my base is low. I'm going to take my elbow and I'm going to drive it into poor Trevor's neck. I can actually choke him out from here, but I'm not going to. But you want to be mean from this position. I want to have my body right here in his chest. And I want to be controlling his upper body. Right now I'm controlling his upper body. The problem with that is his hips are free. So from here, if I don't have my elbow needs to come down and it wants to block off his hip. My right elbow is blocking off his hip so he can't move, okay? My knees are tight and I'm down. Now I'm going to do a switch reverse and do a sit through, okay? Now the other important thing on this that you want to remember is you want to have this underhook. If I'm here and I'm out, he's going to escape, okay? I have this underhook unprotected, and it's the same thing with the sit-through. A lot of wrestlers will do this headlock. You'll see them come here, and this is like an old-school wrestling headlock. Okay, he's gonna throw me over. He can take my back. You never do this sit-through unless you have this underhook here. I have this underhook here, I'm safe. What I wanna do in this position is I wanna keep my base, okay? I don't wanna have his head. I wanna have the underhook. I want to be holding on to his tricep muscle, and I want to put my body on top of his chest again. I can just relax here. This hurts him right now. You can tell the difference between I'm up on my elbow trying to be nice. Now I'm down. I don't even have any hands. I'm not squeezing, and I'm heavy on him right now. And I underweigh him probably by, I don't know, 30, 40 pounds. So I want to come up. When my weight's on his body, my butt comes up off the floor. I don't want to be too far up off the floor so I get swept. Everything's center. I don't want to be too far down because now I don't have any pressure on his chest. Okay? So I'm here. and I'm applying pressure. And just practice, he can barely breathe right now. He's having a hard time, and so I feel kind of bad, but I want to show you and get the idea. So you want to practice having base, and you want to practice being in the center, not too far forward, not too far backwards. Now I'm going to turn back around again. And I'm going to turn Trevor around so I can show you. Okay, from this position, in side control, if I am not high up on his head, I want to be controlling this hip. With my knee, I'm blocking this hip, and with my elbow, I'm blocking this hip. Okay, he's going to have a rough time from here. There's a lot of submissions from here. There's a lot of strikes from here. I'm going to go over strikes from this position on the next tape and some submissions. I just want to show you the basic position right now. What I want to stress to you more important than anything else with side control is have this underhook. Do not let this go. Even when I'm moving, people have a tendency, they start moving, and there is some opportunities when you can, and you're blocking off the hip, okay? But I'm not going to go into that right now. For now, you just want to have the underhook. You want to stop his hips from moving. If he can't move his hips, he's not going anywhere. He can't do anything. And I can switch over, and this is a good position for me. Now I'm taking my elbow and I'm taking my knee, and I want to push them together, okay? And I'm hurting him here. And my elbow and my knee on this side, on his hips, they're pushing together. Just think of it like that. Think like you're in, without him, I'm in this position, and I'm basically I want to try to touch my elbows. But I want to do it on his neck, and I want to do it on his hips. And I'm strong right here, and I'm working on submissions from right here, okay? So we have blocking off the hips. We have higher one where I'm digging this into his throat. We have the sit through with the underhook where I'm basing out just a little bit with my hips off the ground here. And those are the basic side control positions that you're going to see, and then I'm going to show you right now. So now he's in side control. The next thing I'm going to show you is the knee on belly. Now, with the knee on belly, when you're trying to get the knee on the belly, the last thing that you want to do is when I'm trying to mount somebody or I'm trying to do a knee on belly, I don't want to lift this leg up. You see a lot of people, they lift this leg up and then they go over to get the mount. I want to take my knee and I want to slide it up on his body. So I'm here in side control, and I want to slide my knee up. Let me show from this position, this way. Turn around, please, a little bit more. About right there. Okay, when I slide my knee up, I slide it up here, but my foot, I'm on the ball of my foot, and I'm still applying pressure right here, okay? I don't want to slide my knee up and just be flat, because I'll break my toes. I want to slide it up here. I'm going to come up, and I'm going to go into knee on belly. Now let me go back to the other position so I can show you from here. All his knee on belly is just what it sounds like. It's knee on the belly. I can pop to my hips and come up here, or I can just slide and I can be in this position. This is a dangerous position to be in, but it's a setup for a lot of different things. So I pop up to my hips, I base out, I have his head. There's some strikes from here. I'm not going to go into them. I'm going to show you a drill, how to go back and forth with knee on belly. It's just like a pommel horse drill that you would do, a gymnast would do. You're going to take your hands, you're going to pretend like your opponent's a pommel horse. You're going to put your hands like this, thumbs touching almost, but it's going to be on his chest right here. I'm going to go knee on belly. Take my hands here, and I'm going to switch positions. Now I'm on the other side. Knee on belly, switch positions. Let's turn around a little bit so I can show. How about the other way with your head facing this way? Thank you. Okay. So your knee's gonna go here, knee on belly. Does that hurt? Sorry. You wanna be strong with this. You wanna be hurting the guy. If you're like here and you're sloppy with it, it's not gonna hurt him much. I'm on his sternum. Switch, switch, and just practice moving back and forth. Moving back and forth. Practice strike, strike, cradle him here, strike, And you can work on that drill. That's going to be it for knee on belly. Next thing we're going to go over is called the mount position. It's a position that I obviously want to be in, and Trevor doesn't. Okay, if you get the mount, the most important thing from this position is to have base, okay? If I'm in the middle, I want to take my heels and my feet and I want to drive them into him. I want to drive my feet and my hips in him. I want to take my knees and I want to be tight. I don't want to be squeezing. I just want to have base, and I want to keep my hips and my feet here as leverage because I'm blocking off his hips, just like I was with my elbow and my knee before. Now I'm doing it with my feet. A way to get him to extend, because he's defending right now, is called a grapevine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go low, I'm going to take my legs in, I'm going to grapevine my legs into his, I'm going to extend them out, putting pressure. Now what this does, I want to get underneath his elbow, so I'm extending him out. Now I'm going to shoot my knees up and go for high mount. This is the position I want to be in. If I'm in here, if I'm here and he has his elbows, then he's going to work the elbow escape, okay? So if I do the grapevine and I extend him out, I can bring him up to go for high mount. This is the superior position I want to be in. From here, I have some submissions, but mostly what I have for mixed martial arts is striking. This is the great position to strike from. I can strike from here. You can hold on his head and strike from here. I can switch back and go to a low grapevine if I want. Strike from here, elbow from here, do submissions from here. There's lots of different things I can tie him up. You can do a thing called Who's Your Daddy, which I won't show you what that is right now. But if I have the superior position here, these are the different positions for mount. You have high mount, where you can strike from. You have the middle mount, which you have control from, but you need to keep your hips in. If he bucks off, I can actually put my feet, I keep my feet attached to his hips. If I do put him on the floor, I bring him underneath, and my heels are driving into his back right now, and it hurts a lot. Now I'm putting base on, and this hurts. Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if I'm low, I can grapevine my legs. I can extend, or I can stay here just with my hooks in, and I can still do different things from this position. So those are the different mount positions. When you practice them, like I said, practice with your hips low and your weight low. He's going to be trying to buck me off. He's going to be trying to push me forward. He's going to be trying to do all kinds of things. I don't want to be here and have space. I want to create no space. I want to be heavy on him. I want to bring my butt, my hips low. I want to keep my feet tight, my knees tight, and I want to have base. This is a really good position. Mount, but you just have to practice getting some base down for the mount. It's going to be it for the mount. All right, the last drill that I'm going to show you, it kind of encompasses everything that we've been working on. It's different positions and some strikes from different positions. You can do this with your basic heavy bag that you have hanging. You take it off. Obviously, you want to wear protective gear or gloves. Sometimes I'll wrap my hands and wear boxing gloves so I can punch harder. Sometimes I'll wear Vale Tudo gloves because it's more realistic for me. I don't like to do this drill with bare hands because you'll cut up your hands and you could hurt your wrist. So the basic positions that we're going to go over on this is I had him in side control and I'm here, okay? The drill is going to be striking drills. I want to keep him down. From here, I can elbow. I can turn to the side. I can strike. I can elbow. I can go back here. I can go to the mount. I can strike. I can go to knee on belly. Strike. Switch back to knee on belly from here. Strike. Strike. Back again. Strike. I want to remember this is my opponent's head. It's easy to forget that it's a bag and I can just start hitting you anywhere and I can think that I'm here and I can start punching it here and punching like that. Try to think that this is your opponent's head and you want to learn how to move. You want to learn how to control him. If I'm here and I'm in side control, I'm probably not going to be able to, from this position, be able to start striking here. So what I want to do is I want to think, okay, what can I do from here? I can throw elbows from here. Do I want to do them real fast? No, I want to do them with power. So when you do this drill, I want you to think that it's the person. I want you to start doing it with power. I'm going to show you kind of how it works a little bit and just work it. Get their knees. Come here. Come to mount. Hold on the opponent's head. Coming low. I'm holding on. Elbow, elbow, elbow. Come back. Hold on to his head. Side control this way. Elbow, 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 elbow. I want to work the bag. Got my knee in. Back again. Side control. Elbow, elbow. I got knees here. Knees here. Knees. I want to pull him in guard. Pretend he's my opponent. Or she's my opponent. Have him here in guard. Elbow strikes, elbow strikes, elbow strikes. Hold them tight. Come back on top. Start striking. So it's just a drill that you do. You get tired because it's pretty tiring. Practice that and it will really help you with your mount and your side control positions. When you're doing these drills, I encourage you to do them slowly at first and learn them. Then as you learn and you improve, I want you to pick up the speed and try to drill them faster like I was. That's going to conclude our tape. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a basic mixed martial arts tape. I really encourage you to practice these moves over and over again to increase your game. As you get better, you'll learn more and you'll learn more techniques. I'm available for seminars and you can reach me at fightergirls.com.